Well, if I thought the first one was pretty awesome even if it didn't truly scare me, what does that make the sequel if it truly freaked me out?
Welcome to the horror show! You realize there is nowhere to run! Don't know, came to fight! Paranoia is getting alive!
The Conjuring 2, aka The Conjuring 2, The Enfield Poltergeist. The first movie cost around $20 million to make. So what did they do for the sequel? Double the budget, of course. There be spoilers ahead, so you have been warned. The plot. Ed and Lorraine Warren are now pretty much celebrities for all their investigations. But where there are believers, there be skeptics. Now a new case has emerged in Enfield, England, and they must determine if it is a hoax or a genuine haunting. I just made it sound like Ed and Lorraine Warren are the main focal point of the movie, but the family that is being tormented, a mother and her 4 children, are all important as well. Well, except for one of her sons, who I think had barely any dialogue. I mean, there are a slew of characters, who are all pretty much developed except for one of the paranormal investigators, and one of the children who I'd argue has a very important role as being one of the victims, just not with a lot of dialogue. One of the other gripes I have is not the CG crookedy man, believe it or not. I got a great Tim Burton vibe from that freak. But the resolution, the way the film wraps up, it was just too forced and convenient for my taste. Now, some of you may be wondering, what is the crookedy man? I thought it was just the nun and the old man. Well, the fact is, the nun is only seen by the Warren family because it is there to mock their faith. And the crookedy man is basically the same demon, just in a different form. That being the one of a certain children's toy. It is a neat way to have some truly terrifying demons in this haunting flick. Speaking of terrifying scenes, that scene with the nun and the painting fucking scared the shit out of me. And trust me when I say I don't scare easy. This had to make 2 of James Wan's horror films that actually really creeped me out, the other being the first Insidious. On a happier note, the chemistry between the characters, especially Ed and Lorraine, is very heartwarming. Everyone is there for a reason. There's even a bitchy skeptic involved in this investigation. But you understand why she is skeptic and don't hate her for it. The scene with Ed singing Elvis's Can't Help Falling in Love pretty much sold me on him. He is just such a likable character, and he is that way without coming off as cheesy. Another scene I love is actually the opening scene. It is basically their look into the Amityville case. It is presented in a way that is amazingly executed and shot. No, seriously, Lorraine basically reenacts the murders as if possessed by the killer himself, killing his family shot by shot. But that does lead to more skeptic characters, which seemed to really get Ed frustrated, and honestly, who can blame him? This brings me back to the main skeptic of the movie. She catches something on film that almost breaks the whole investigation. The Enfield Poltergeist is mostly thought of as a hoax. All started with the little girl's imagination, and they incorporate that into the movie. Is it all just a hoax? Come on, I won't spoil that for you. This is a movie that never stops winding the tension. It's played out at first like every scene had something at the very least unsettling happened. By an hour into the movie, I was just waiting for the next scene to terrify or intrigue me. The long takes are well crafted, and there are several scenes that truly scared me. That non-crookedy man is one creepy freak, and the old man isn't that friendly looking either. While I do wish that every character had a development that was built up, a majority of them did. The children were all superb actors and actresses, and were genuinely frightened, which definitely helped the film feel more believable. I gave the first Conjuring movie a 3.5 out of 5. I'd probably give it the same rating to this day. As for this movie, I'd have to say, overall I give The Conjuring 2 a 4.5 out of 5. I was overly hyped for the first one, and it was a great film, just not as scary as everyone made it out to be. I actually had low-ish expectations going into this movie. However, it definitely helps that they didn't put all the scares from this movie in the trailer like the first one did. Also, this film runs for almost 2.5 hours, and it never felt boring or tedious with its time. I am Brian Gatto, host of Horror Show Movie Reviews. Make sure to like my Facebook page in the description below and leave comments and subscribe.